Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity, accepting full responsibility. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood, the day you accept full responsibility. And another note, learn to reap in the fall without apology. Without apology if you do well, and without complaint if you don't. That's maturity. I used to have that long list of reasons why I wasn't doing well. To explain. You got to explain, right? Otherwise you're going to look bad. I used to have this funny list called Reasons for Not Looking Good. I used to blame the government. I mean, you can believe that or not. It was at the top of my list. I had a lecture second to none. The government. That was on my list. I used to blame taxes. Look what you got left after they take everything. And they expect you to do well. That was on my list there. Prices, that one's easy, right? You walk into the supermarket with $20, come out with a little half bag. So I had that on the list. I used to blame the weather. I blamed the traffic. I used to blame my car. I blamed the manufacturers. I used to blame the company. I blamed company policy. I used to blame the training program. I blame my negative relatives. They were always putting me down. I blame my cynical neighbors. They're just selfish, looking out for themselves. Won't loan you money? They were on my list. I used to blame the economy. I blamed the community. That's a pretty good list for not doing well, isn't it? I thought it was good. I'll never forget one day. Mr. Schoaf was very kind, but he was also very blunt. And this was no exception. And I'm glad he was blunt. There's a lot of things I'd have missed if he hadn't been blunt. One day, with sort of a curious look on his face, he said, Jim, just out of curiosity, tell me, how come you haven't done well up until now? Excellent question. I thought, well, so I won't look too bad, I'll go through my list. And this list I just gave you, I put that on him. And he was very patient. He let me go through the whole thing, the government, the weather. I went through this whole thing. When I finished, he looked my list over very carefully. He said, Mr. Rohn, big problem with your list. You ain't on it. How brilliant. When I went to work for him a few months later, I learned very quickly to tear up my list, reasons for not doing well, and I threw it away. And I got me a fresh piece of paper. And I put one word on it. Me. There's a Black Heritage spiritual that says it's not my mother nor my father, nor my brother nor my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. See, I used to blame everything outside. And then let me give you a little philosophy that helps turn my life around. For your notes, here it is. It's not what happens that determines the quality or the quantity of your life. It's not what happens. And the reason is because what happens to about everybody. No different. The sun went down on all of us last night. A common event, a happening. And I found out that the same things can happen to two different people. One gets rich and one stays poor. Why is that? It's because not what happens, but rather it's what you do that changes it. So that's a key phrase. It's not what happens, it's what you do. What happens is about the same. You might put that in parentheses here. Same. What people do, that's what's different. Anything can happen, right? Everything can happen. I've heard all the stories. I've been one of the stories. Hey, we could all tell stories all night long, right? Anything can happen. Have you heard of Murphy's Laws? Anybody here heard of Murphy's Laws? Okay, most of you have. These laws. One of them was, if anything can go wrong, it will. That's one of Murphy's Laws. He was not one of the great positive speakers of the day. But anyway, it's still true though. Everything can go wrong, everything can go wrong. For sure. I've fallen out of the sky so many times. Once to the tune of a couple of million. Devastating. Took me a while to survive that one. Now, it wasn't all that much, but it was all I had. I mean, that's when it's much, right? When it's all you got. If you got 3, 2 go, you got 1 left. You ain't looking that bad. But when it all goes. Has anybody been there when it all went? Anybody? Come on, the rest of you liars. Hey, we've all been there, right? When it all went. Of course, it used to be a long time ago, right? When you ran out of money, got to 0, you were all through. Heck, now you're just right on by 0, right? They will bury you. That's what they will do. But see, those are the happenings, right? Everything can happen. Anything can happen. But it's not the happenings. It's what you do about it. Somebody says, yeah, but you don't understand the disappointments I've had. Come on. Everybody's had their share. Disappointments are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The difference is what you do about it. It's not the weather. I used to blame the weather, and I discovered it rains on the rich. So see, that won't help. 2 men wake up one morning, there's a rainstorm on. One of them looks out his window, sees the rainstorm, and he says, wow, what a storm. With weather like this, they can't expect you to go out and make sales. He stays home. Same morning, the other guy looks out his window, sees the same storm, says, wow, what a storm. But he says, you know what, with weather like this, what a great day to go out and make sales. Most everybody will probably be home, especially the salesman. See, that's the difference in how your life works out. It's not what happens, it's what you do. So here's one of the key questions of the evening. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now, see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's going to be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are going to be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your own life. What can you do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Good question. What can you do with economic chaos, massive disappointment? What can you do with a broken heart? What can you do when it won't work? Good question. So if I work with you tonight, one-on-one, just you and me, I think my personal advice to you would be, this year, 1981, reach down inside of you and come up with some more of those remarkable human gifts. They're there, waiting to be utilized. And then change anything for you you want to change. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. If you don't like how it is for you, change it. If it doesn't suit you, change it. If it doesn't please you, change it. If it isn't enough, change it. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. See, you don't ever have to be the same again after tonight, only by choice. If you don't like your present address, change it. You're not a tree. Now, let me give you 3 steps to personal development. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What does it take to really make the changes starting tomorrow? It takes more than philosophical pronouncement. I know that. It also takes more than enthusiasm. I know we're hearing a lot about enthusiasm these days, but see, that just won't do the job. We're still hearing the old cliches of the 30s, right? To be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. But see, that's not going to help. After you have leaped about, there are some things you got to do, or it isn't going to change. See, you can get all excited about lifting 200 pounds till you get to the gym. And then you need a new excitement. And the new excitement is called discipline. Major step to human progress. Discipline. If there's one thing to get excited over, that's it. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. What could you make yourself do starting tomorrow that would change it all? No. Tell. Now, it's exciting. On any given day, you can massively change the direction of your life. Murder is a clear example that any one person on any given day can forever alter the course of their life. It just happens to be a negative act. But just as sure as you can act, you can also commit a positive act and forever alter your life whenever you wish. Now that's exciting. And whatever that act might be that changes your life. The guy finally takes a shotgun to his car. It blows out every window, destroys every tire, puts 100 rounds in this shabby old thing. And he says, I have this embarrassing thing for the last time. And not only will I never drive it again, nobody else will ever drive it again. And he lets that shuddering thing stand there for a while as a monument to the day he said, today my life changes. Now who can do that? Anybody. When can you do it? Whatever day you pick.
Guys, thanks for joining in. I'm going to be starting in about 5 minutes time, in exactly 5 minutes time. Thank you so much for joining in. Listening to some gym run for personal development. It's quite important that we all, each and every day, work on how we develop ourselves personally. So I'll join you back in about 4 minutes. Let's listen to some gym run.
Now here's the key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines. Get excited little disciplines. Get right on those because those will lead to the big ones. You can't handle the big challenges and list of all the things. Right on those. Discipline yourself for those, both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice. So that when life hands you some big challenges, you'll be ready. You'll have the muscle. But see, if you don't handle the small ones, you can't take care of the big ones. Okay, here's what else it takes for life to change. Self-motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. I don't know why we call it self-motivation. It's really the only kind there is. You got to motivate. Because I found out you can't change people. They can change themselves, but you can't change them. Lord knows some try. But see, it won't work. People have to change themselves. I learned some of those lessons early. I built a little sales organization way back in those early days. I'm 25. And make these people successful. I almost died. You can have good people. You don't need much instruction for a good person. But you train probably means you got the wrong people. So you got to find the right people. That's the key to getting a good job done. One of the major things we learn in management, lesson 1, don't send your ducks to Eagle School. I'm telling you, it won't help, no matter how good your school is.
All right, guys.
I'm telling you, it won't help. It won't help. You can tell whether your school's done it.
All right, so we got 2 minutes to start. I appreciate if there's any question. This would be more or less like the rhyme to pop in the question. In the meantime, it's and I'll join you back in 2 minutes. Thanks.
Pretty good, right? Is when it's over, right? The duck goes for his first rabbit and makes him a friend. You say, no, no, no. Anyway, so it takes self-motivation to really alter your life. And you don't want to give self-motivation away to somebody else and make somebody make you. The guy says, boy, if somebody just come by and turn me on. What if they don't show up? Right? See, you've got to have a better plan for your life. Okay. Now, if you're excited and you're ready to change, let me give you 3 steps to start life change that can change your life, your personality, your lifestyle, everything can change. Here's the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. The first key to doing better is find out. To change your life, really, you need ideas. There isn't anything an idea can't change. And Schultz taught me the main problem is lack of an idea, not a problem.
Right, guys. Starting now. Thank you so much for joining in. I so much appreciate your little time for joining on in this evening. And then I believe that if we carry on and we can continue to be doing this, quite a lot of us is gonna get better at what we do. I don't want you to see me as any genius whatsoever. I've been in the market 12 years ahead of you, but that doesn't qualify that we cannot learn together. And the only way that you can learn in this business is just by not just keeping quiet, by asking question. Any stupid question, any nonsense question is quite good for you to ask. And number 2 is I just want you to know that I'm just doing this as a way to give back along my own journey in trading. And if you can just benefit from some of the few things that I've learned, you know, it will make a lot of sense for me, and I'll be more than happy to develop yourself more further. Also a member of the International Market Life. Yeah, I recently joined, and I joined being full knowledge of what trading is, and I know that yeah, quite a lot of you might need help as well. And yeah, it's just a big community to be in. So the first thing that in question, please do not hesitate to pop it in through the chat box. I will be able to see your question, and then we can take it from there. The first thing I'll normally do on a normal trading day or on any trading day is check through my calendar. Yeah, the first thing that I'll do is look through my calendar, irrespective of whatever time that I want to trade. So I'll look at my calendar. Today is the 4th of February. I choose them for factory. I've got a couple of other calendars that I use as well. I use one that's called Forex Pizza. Okay, so if you need some of these calendars and how to use them, just pop the question in. I'll be able to type them and then send them into the chat box so that you can copy and paste it as well, and just have it for your own use. I would like you to understand at the same time that when it comes to trading, it's not a one-day business. You cannot be a master or a proficient trader in one day. Sometimes you might not even be a proficient trader in 3 months, but you can learn a strategy. All right, you can learn a strategy, and you can continue to follow that strategy. Once you get good on one strategy and you keep developing it, and you keep fine-tuning it, and you keep tweaking it, meanwhile that particular strategy that you learn can still be earning money, but you will find your situation whereby surprises coming into the market. It's all about having all sorts of different kind of ways to approach the market. There is no any single way in which you can trade the market. You can literally approach the market in many forms, but all I don't want to do is just to complicate things for you. So the first thing that I'll do is look at my calendar. All right, today is gone now. At half 9 we have AIG service index, and then on the AIG service index, that will be the last call for the day. That will be the last data for the day. And as you can see, it's got a very medium or a very low impact. All right. So the next thing that's important for us ahead of the coming trading day is tomorrow. So we'll have to check what do we have. All right. So on a day like this, at exactly 12:30 today, we have what is called retail sales. Yeah, and when it comes to retail sales, it's a good data, and it's one single data at 12:30, although there's what's called trade balance, which is of medium impact. All right, so but there's a way to trade this, yeah, and I'm gonna try my best to show you the way to literally trade the news when it comes to this kind of news. The first thing you want to check is, okay, what is the previous? All right, so the previous is telling us that it's 0.4, meanwhile the forecast is about 0.0%. So literally the forecast does not mean anything more than it has just given us a pre-clue to the kind of data that majority of the economists have gathered, and the way that they've tailored that data to make sure that it reflects the 0.0% that they are expecting. So what really is important is this: once the economists or the analysts, once they've had their forecast, the actual is what really matters. So if we have an actual that comes out positively way above 0.0%, yeah, so say maybe we have an outcast that comes out at about 1%, yeah, that would be a positive data on retail sales. And then if you don't know what retail sales is, you might ask question. I'll really rely on this session for people to ask question. All right, so if you're finding it difficult to hear me, or so, just let me know as well. So if the data come out surprisingly, yep, then obviously the market is going to pop up positively, and it has to come out surprisingly way above the 0.0% that was there before, and possibly do better than 0.4%. But if you check here, which is the graph, then this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see a graph like this that shows us from year 2011. Look at where we are currently. Yeah, even in the market, or in our trading experience, we know something that is called consolidation. You can see this is what the data has been like over the last 1, 2, 3. It was significantly low in September 2018. October it picked up. November it kind of picked up. Christmas time, December it was up, and then January, things that's happened in December edge it up a little bit. So we are more or less like back at the range of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 months. All right, so we are back at the range of the last 8 months. Okay, so the actual, one second, the actual of the last month was coming in at 0.4%, as you can see. Meanwhile, the forecast is the one in the gold, which is it was forecasted to be 0.3%. The forecast for this coming month, for the month of January that we're gonna get in this February, is 0.0%, which means the retail sales really slow down in January. Well, that is normal, really and truly. Changing the total value of sales at the retail level, actually greater than forecast, is good for currency. That is normal for the month of January, because in January, hardly do people really spend money. But when it's now becoming concerning is when we look at it all around the whole equation. So the other thing that we're gonna have at 3:30 today will be the RBA's rate statement. So in the Australian currency, in the Aussie, there is going to be definitely some action going on. And how do we trade this action? Okay, I'm going to go into it as well. to show you. The next big news is going to be the ISM non-manufacturing data, and that will affect the dollar at 3 o'clock. So basically what this gives is, it has given you an idea that, okay, I have an action of $1 billion. I want to look at all the best that's got to do with Australian dollar. I want to know what is strong, what is weak, and then see which one I can pair against the Australian dollar. And then in the US dollar as well, we are expecting the ISM manufacturing to come in at 57.0. Okay. Right. So last month one comes way below forecast. All right, 57.6. The forecast was at 59. All right, and then this month of February one, we are looking at this area here. We don't know what is going to come out at. So how do we literally trade this? Based on what we found, I'll then go to before I go into the chart, I want to look at what other things, some other charting packages, so that at least we get ourselves conversant with what is happening in the market way earlier if you've not been trading from the morning. So I look at another website called forexlive.com. Very good website as well. Banks tighten standard in commercial real estate loans in quarter four. So this has got to do with the Fed. And then obviously we can see that money is not going out the way that I used to. Demand highlights of the Fed senior loan officer survey. Demand weakened for loans to businesses and households. Bank kept standard basically unchanged for commercial and industrial loans in quarter four. It was basically unchanged for commercial and industrial loans in quarter four. You know what that means? Which means if you want to really borrow money, the standard was kept unchanged in quarter four. There is a list of documents or list of things that they're gonna go for. They can borrow you money, but when it comes to commercial and industrial loans, that standard remains. Bank expect tighten standard for all business loans, credit card loans, and jumbo mortgages in 2019. This argues for the remaining. You can see that the Fed is now calming down. They don't want to expose themselves too much to more risk, and that will have impact on the United States dollar. And whatever have impact on the United States dollar have impact 60% of all the global economy, because United States dollar is used in a 60% manner to global economy. So we have another one. Dollar yen trade near New York sessions low despite stock move here. All right. So what was that? Dollar yen correct. Yeah, typically as stocks move higher, so does the dollar yen crosses are also off highs. All right, so what should have happened is the dollar supposed to be rising against the yen as stock moves higher, but what the gentleman over here, Greg, is saying to us is trying to visualize kind of change that is coming. All right. The pair just moved below 200 bar, but we will get into all that as well. So Goldman Sachs says scope for dollar card to fall below 1.300. That may be one thing that we may look at. It's reluctant to chase the Panaya even with Article 50 extension likely. All right, so Citibank is talking about the sterling. They are unsure whether sterling will remain at the highs, so although sterling has been off against the dollar, US stock trading near highs for the day. And then we have the audio recap. A slow start to the week. What's moving markets on Monday? So it's like you can listen to it while we give you a much more clearer idea of what is going on in the market. Yeah, so this is that on activity should pick up on Tuesday. So it's something that you can listen to. You buy talks about EU to work on alternative solution to backstop during transition. That's about Brexit. World, the BH economist asset. US job gain shows growth momentum heading into 2019, so the US economy is still looking positive. European share end with mixed results. That's another thing going into tomorrow. Okay, which means there's no any directional decision. The Europe side looks so positive because the results were mixed. Multiple for the indices on the day, so we have different conflicting situation. Everybody's not following the same thing, and gold corrects towards the 100-hour MA. All right, so that's gold. We can look at gold as well. New Zealand test broken trend line 100-hour. All right, so we can look at all that as well. How to enhance your trading experience using price band, and you can have quite a lot of view into what has been happening in the market just before you even pop up your charts. Just have it true. So, and then on Bloomberg, I like to watch Bloomberg, I like to watch the embassy, sex what's going on. So what I would normally look for is what market saying Brexit agreement reached to bolster London derivative clearing. All right. So 2 hours ago, that's what happened. You can quick through it and see what they are saying. I hope you can see my screen. I can't see your screen. Am I the only one just hearing only audio? Sorry about that. Sorry, Cruz. Really, I'm gonna check again and see precisely what's going on here. I'm gonna stop presenting for a second, and then I'm gonna start over. No, all right, okay. And then I'm presenting again. Just give 1 second. Right. Okay, I'll reshare the screen now. Let's see if it comes back on. Can we use them? Well, we can use them. Zoom is gonna be 45 minutes off. Probably have to be doing another one. The only thing is because this one just record this session and it doesn't cut off. All right, give me a couple of minutes. I'll see if I can stop it Zoom, and then yeah, I'll just let me stop it Zoom if we have I think it's internet problem anyway. The internet is okay. Hello, will this session be recorded? Well, if we go on Zoom, most probably we might not have it fully recorded, but I would see how best I can record it as well. Just hang on a minute for me. I'm just broadcasting and start to broadcast again.